All right, so let's talk real quick about the bid-ask spread and what that even means. All right, the easiest way I can think of to show you, let's go back to the SPY, and the bid-ask spread is simply put as the price that traders are willing to buy or sell options for. Now, let's just stay consistent with using the March expiration cycle. 21 days to expiration. We'll go right at the money. Excuse me, the closest strike price to being right at the money is 236.5. Call side, put side. 212, 233. Now that market price is actually the mid price between the bid and the ask. So now if I open that up, I can see that the bid is 211, the ask is 214. So close to the middle of that is 212. And all that means is if you were wanting to buy this option and you 100% did not want to risk any slippage, and what that word means is that is just the amount of money that you make or lose depending on how far away from the bid or the ask the price of your option is trading. So that slippage, if I were to say I want to get filled no matter what, essentially you're saying I am placing a market order. I want to buy this strike, this call, this expiration cycle in SPY. I am going to pay $2.14. That's the ask price. Think of an auction. You go to an auction and you're bidding on stuff, right? There's prices for automobiles or for cattle or for lumber inventory. It doesn't matter what the mechanism or what the vehicle is. If you can just use that illustration or that example as you want to get the best price possible, but if you're in a situation where you have to buy or sell something, well, you're either going to hit the bid or hit the ask. And if you are buying something, the worst possible fill is buying the ask. If you are selling something, the worst possible fill is selling at the bid. So what that means is that spread, that difference between the bid and the ask, in this example is 3 pennies, right? That is a very narrow, very tight bid-ask spread. So that means that your slippage might be a penny or 2. And some of these liquid instruments like this, SPY is the most liquid instrument, just meaning they have the tightest bid-ask spread of any vehicle out there, will reduce that slippage, and it will ensure that you get the best possible fills available. Now, if we compare that to, let's just say, the NDX, this is a much larger index. It's a lot more thinly traded, meaning there's not as much activity. And we'll do the same thing. Let's go March, 20 days expiration, coming right at the money, 53.50 call strike. Well, now look at the bid and ask on that. It's dollars wide, right? It's $2.20 wide. And the reason this is super important to be aware of and to note is that if I'm trading in the NDX and I'm in a position to where I have to execute a trade, I mean, for whatever reason, I have to get a trade executed. That slippage, that amount of price that you're going to have to give up, if you are giving up a few pennies, that's not that big of a deal. If you're having to give up a few dollars, that could be a huge deal, especially if you are trading multiple contracts in a cycle. All right, so just think of it like this. We want the narrowest bid-ask spread we can find, and we want the most liquid or most heavily traded equity or underlying asset that we can find. And I'll talk about that in the next video.